Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is first edition TCG. My name is Manny. Later on, I'm most likely going by the name of Manny 12 pack or Pack 12 Manny. Or Manny 12 pack, I should say. um, in this episode, I will be showing you guys the rest of my OP collection and talk to you guys about this, just my opinion about these reprints of OP13. I don't know if I did actually mention that in my last video or my last episode, but I'm just gonna mention it again. And also, just a little bit of announcement here and there about certain things, just depending on how far I get. Because again, one, I want to thank everyone who has been subscribing to my channel. I want to thank everyone again for taking your time to watch me. And I do appreciate you guys. Just feel free to leave a comment if you guys want, and just hopefully you guys, hopefully I'm entertaining you guys at least with this channel that I have right here about TCG. Other than that, here we go. So we're gonna start off with OP12. So again, in my last episode, I talked about luck and timing. Again, I know luck is just a word that we use here and there. I don't believe in luck. I just believe in good timing. What I was trying to get at from the last video was that I know people do say that was a lucky pack or lucky this, or even from what I just mentioned, kind of at the end of the video of last pass magic or first pack magic. And that's fine and dandy and all that stuff, but when they say that was a lucky pack here and there, again, that again, that I know that's just an expression that people use. I do use the word luck here and there. I'm not trying to stomp on anyone's word on anything like that, but it's just the timing that you got these packs when you open them. Oops, sorry. It's just either you get the pack either before someone or after someone, and you never know what you're gonna get. You just never know, because again, it's just all about the timing. Either you get something good or you don't. Yes, it's all about luck, but it's just like, again, you had an option of choosing this pack or from this pack or this one. You could probably chose wrong, someone else, and we see those videos too where people choose something and they chose wrong, and they go to the next person and they chose the one that the person could have gotten it. And this is what I mean too, also right here where he kicks queen right here. This right here, I got it just before someone, and honestly, I got it. If I would have not been there before someone gotten it, if there's someone was there before me to get this, how they were actually after me, if they were there before me, they would have probably got this card. But I was there first. I got the card. We came home, opened it, and I was like surprised. I was like, oh my goodness. And I think to myself, like, what if that person that was after me gotten it? They would have been, happy. I'm pretty sure. It would have been their lucky day and all that stuff. And that's where it comes from. That's where I think on stuff. But and like, again, I believe in timing. Again, I do use the word luck, but I just believe in timing. It's all about timing to me, either good time or bad time. And it was good time that I just got it right there. It's just good timing. So, and this one too, right here, yeah, just it was just good timing. Got them, so it was just perfect timing right there. So, don't know if I got the other one of this one. Do I? No, I think it was the only one. Anyways, okay. So one thing too, you guys, is again, yeah, I'm mostly raw dogging these videos. My editor, she's kind of having some life issues. So I was hoping to have a thumbnail pretty soon, especially when I make my 10th episode. But I don't know how far she is with it. I don't care to edit my videos with sound effects, other clips, other, just, I know, I do want to entertain you guys, but I just want to raw dog these videos. So, again, I'll most likely have a little piece of paper and I'll read it out until I do edit it. But full disclosure, you guys, heads up again, like I mentioned before in my earlier episodes, is that, um, again, I do apologize to anyone if I say anything offensive or if I say anything that is foul language, because when I do start opening packs in front of the camera, when I do get excited, I do kind of swear and all that stuff. I'm gonna try to resist myself, but most likely, knowing me, I'll most likely, say a swear word, and it's just not good, But again, my channel is not meant to be. My channel is only meant for mature audience, and obviously you guys adults, because yes, with this TCG whole thing right here, it is meant for kids as young as 8 or so. But if honestly we were kids ourselves, now we're adults making the money, buying what we wanted and always wanted from back then, and that's where the whole issue, where when people say it's for the kids, like, I'm sorry though, we were kids, we didn't have parents who had the money here and there, some of us were poor and came out of poverty and all that stuff. Some of us were middle class, where my family was and all stuff, and we still couldn't afford certain things and stuff, things that I wish I would have wanted, and things that I did, I cherished it, and yeah, they're not in the best condition, but I still cherished it, I wish I would have took better care of some of the stuff, which I will show you guys, if you guys seen that one episode. But some of the stuff that I did ever get and I showed you guys, I was like, oh, and I'll eventually show you guys in a later on episodes. But and then those for us who, for those who grew up, had a better life than most of us, yeah, well, good for you guys. I kid you not, that is good for you. It does suck, but you know what, if we don't want that, if we want a better life, especially for our own kids and all that stuff, we are going to change our opinion about how we lived, how our life was back then, for the next generation on stuff. So again, I do apologize. Yes, it is meant for the kids, but we were kids. We wanted certain things. We couldn't get them, or we were only limited to get certain things. And now we are of age, working our asses off, and now we got what we wanted, So I'm sorry to say, yeah, it's just, you kids, and that's the one thing too. Some of these YouTubers that do have kids, and about these seal collection, which I will eventually make in my next episode, I'll be talking about something like that later on. Anyways, but again, this is for mature audience and, adults. I do apologize again if I say anything foul language or offensive while recording, because I am going to just raw dog it. Oh my gosh, my throat. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get some drink. Anyways, and just hopefully, hold on. Sorry about that, you guys. But like I was saying, I was raised with manners here and there, but I chose to still swear here and there. I did pause the video just so I could drink some water here and there, because I'm gonna be going off just a little bit subject, because I actually originally recorded this, what I'm doing right now, on my GoPro, but it didn't turn out to be good, so I'm doing it on my phone. So this is like my third or fourth take, honestly. But anyways, back to this whole thing is that this, again, I do apologize in advance if I say anything offensive, anything. It's just when I get a little excited, I do swear here and there. This is why it's not meant for kids here and there, because I may say something, and I have grew up with some people, and she, they at first they didn't have kids because we just grew up just for ourselves, having fun here and there. But then when they decide to have kids, I just they at a certain age they were just swearing, cussing in front of their kids, and it was I found it funny, you know. I did make a comment, but you know, it's like, hey, I'm not gonna tell them how to parent their kids or what to say in front of their kids. You know, if that's how they want to talk and all that stuff, you know, that's fine and dandy. You know, yeah, we all grew up differently. We all grew up just, you know, all if overall we just need to respect each other. You know, it is bad enough that that this world is has negativity and it's not corrected. And I know I'm going a little off subject because that'll be actually on another channel of mine. Oh, by the way, that was OP13, and this is going to be OP14. Is that, you know, again, we're all raised differently here and there, and again, I know this is for the kids, but just we're adults now. Yes, we want some for our own kids that we have here and there, but if we don't have kids, then we just want it for ourselves because, you know, kids are expensive, you know. Yeah, you get a little tax write-off for a little bit more money, but one thing from what my mom told me for the longest time, once you bring a child in, your life belongs to them until you're able to raise them, hopefully well, and not mischief and all stuff like I was a little bit. You know, but you know, you raise them how you want them and all that stuff. So again, I was raised to be good and all that stuff, yes, here and there, but again, I went through my phases. You know, I was terrible here and there at a certain age, you know, and I'll be eventually mentioning that later on in my other channels. But anyways, um if I haven't said already, it is Thursday the 19th February 2026. um I know my editor. Again, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I can't remember. But again, I was supposed to have thumbnails for my videos. Again, just for my videos. I don't care for editing my videos as much. I do want to entertain you guys, but I don't want to. You know, I just want to practically raw dog it here and there, or edit as I go. Like how just a little while ago, I paused the video just to drink some water because my mouth was dry. I may have to pause it again. But anyways, um, what was I getting at? Oh, is that, yeah, thumbnails. I just want my editor to have thumbnails for me, you know, just to eye candy you guys. You know, I'm not trying to clickbait you guys here and there because I want to be legitimate with you guys here, and you know, just be truthful with you guys here and there. You know, I don't want to fake it like how some of these other people do. You know, they literally clickbait it, and I know you guys like that stuff and all that stuff, but I want to be at least a little bit truthful when it comes to stuff like this. You know, at least the TCG community. Oh, excuse me. Again, this is OP14. Oof. And I do hope you guys, you know, again, this is just me showing off my collection. Again, I will be eventually opening packs, mostly one Pokemon, and if I get a little too excited, I may swear here and there. I do apologize in advance. I'll probably have a disclosure or say a disclosure about it here and there. But again, I let you guys know in the earlier videos, and I said that, you know, again, this is just not meant for kids, you know, because again, I may say some foul language. All right, the last set is EB04. That was a combined set with OP14. So just small because I'll say this is just a little taste of EB04, which is pretty funny because I'll see it's crazy that EB03 is releasing tomorrow, Friday on the 20th, and you know they have a little bit of a small and small side of EB04. I can't remember if someone said that OP15 is going to be a combined set too. I don't know with EB04 too or something else, or it's just going to be left alone. I can't remember. And one thing too about this video I'll be talking about, so I do apologize that it's going to be a little long, is that the whole, again, I can't remember if I mentioned it in my other video too, but they're reprinting OP13 and they're reprinting apparently EB03, which still hasn't yet to come out because I'll say it's released tomorrow, but there are some people who have early access to it, and obviously there's videos out there, good for them and all that stuff. I'm not hating on them, because I have my own hookups here and there, and but good for those people, that has access early. But it's just terrible that for those people who do have access, that they're selling it for an outrageous prices, just $2 just to add with them too. And the one thing is, and this is just my opinion about this whole reprint, about at least OP13, if it is really true. I talked to another YouTuber here and there. They technically don't live too far from me. They live a few hours away from me. But they mentioned about the whole reprint of OP13 and EB03. And then I made a comment of saying like, well, are they going to fix the whole weighing issue? Like, why is no one, because like other people too, why is no one talking about the whole weighing issue and all that stuff? Yeah, in the beginning they did. You could weigh, anything could be weighed, honestly. Anything could be weighed. I think they said about, I don't know what said about Pokemon, but they said they eventually fixed the set, but I think they just got lazy and they said like, oh, whatever. So certain Pokemon sets, especially in the very beginning, it could be weighed from, a heavy pack to a light pack. And I made a comment about it, and I said like, well, what do you think they're going to do? Why isn't anyone talking about it? Yeah, they're talking about reprints of OP13, but do you think Bandai is going to fix the whole weighing issue? You think they're going to have God packs in them? And the thing about this is that in my past episode, I told you guys right here. I'm actually going to take two right here and just one right here. I told you guys that I bought 5 OP13. I try to get a 6th one, so because the whole case is 12, but I try to get at least 6 in total. And before I even opened them, just like, because when everybody was talking about, oh, OP13 could be weighed, here and there, even the sleep packs, they were weighable, and majority of them did come out to be God packs. And I told myself, I'm gonna try to buy as much as I can, including the sleep packs, and see if they're heavy. Unfortunately, all my sleep packs came out the same weight. None of them were anything interesting. There was one good hit from the set. I forgot what it was, but one of them was a good hit out of all of them. But they all weighed the same, and I even showed you guys my scale. But anyways, and I said like, well, how's that? Again, this is my opinion. How's that? Why is the price of these boxes that people say the investors, the scalpers? I understand from scalpers' point of view, but what about the investors, the true investors? Again, I have 2 sealed, and I opened 3, total of 5. 2 of these boxes were light. 3 of them, I kid you not, 3 of these boxes that I received were heavy. And when I opened I opened one heavy. It didn't come with God packs. There was no God packs, but there was a lot of holos. I opened a light one. It came with practically the basic of what it's supposed to be, but there was more holos than the light one. And then I said like, well, since I have more heavy boxes, I'm going to open one more. And again, it came with a lot more holos. None of them were God packs, but a lot of them were holos. And I was just thinking to myself like, that's the only small difference. Yes, maybe a box can come with a God pack. I kid you not, maybe one of these still can be a God pack in there. But definitely for sure that I know when I weigh them, one of them is going to come with a lot more holos than the other one. And it's most likely going to be Dons, because I do have quite a bit of Dons. But that's the thing. Are they going to fix this whole issue? No one really has talked about it, or at least I haven't really seen a video. The people that I follow, the people that I enjoy watching on stuff, they really haven't mentioned anything like that, or even made comments of anything like that. People in the Pokemon, the Pokebros and all that stuff, they make comments like that. It's like, they're going to reprint it, but are they going to fix the weighing issue, yada, yada, yada? Any new set that's going to come, are they going to fix that? And that's the thing too. This new set that's going to come out, even OP15, is that going to be weighable? Is that going to be something, it's already out in Japanese because, of course, Japanese gets everything first. But are they going to fix the issue? And the price wise is because I'm not going to say the platform I use at the moment. The platform that I use to track my collection, someone was selling a box of OP13 for $500. I was hesitant to get it. I wanted it, but because they only have one left. Of course, mostly some people only just put, when they're selling things, they only say, "Oh, I only have one. I only have one." And if you do buy it, next thing you know, they're out there putting another one. It's like, I thought they only had one left, because they want to sell it. If they could sell it for that price, like I said, if they sell it for 500, they could put out another one and sell it for 6 or 7, and so on and so forth. The only thing is, the person that had it out there for $500, and when this whole issue that I was talking about reprints and all that stuff, they literally raised the price. They didn't sell it. They never sold it, but they raised the price from $500 to $700. I kid you not. I said, like, oh my God, that's so expensive just for this box that is not even old yet. It's not even 1 year old, and they're selling it for $700. So it's like, how's that? And then when I put it in my own collection, it was at $550. So I got 11 grand. 11 grand. But then when the mention about reprinting, my collection was going down. These are now at $500. And I was thinking to myself, like, how is that fair? Or why is that? My sealed boxes that I know for a fact that one of them is heavy is at $500 when that person that's selling it on that platform at $700. That's what I didn't like. That's why I don't believe too much into hype. That's why I think it's just completely stupid. So again, this is just my opinion about certain things here and there, but yeah, I don't know. But there, in my next video, I will be announcing a giveaway. It's not going to be a once in a lifetime giveaway, because I want to kind of see how long I could do it, and hopefully it grows even bigger. I'll have more details in my next video for you guys in that episode, and then hopefully my platform becomes bigger, and also because, again, I do want to give to you guys who take your time, again, out of your schedule or out of your life to watch me ramble and all that stuff. And again, you guys could be watching something else. You could even be watching a legitimate TV show, but yet you guys are watching me, and I appreciate it. So if you guys are new, yes, please do subscribe to my channel. It's going to be helpful for you guys later on. Go ahead and drop me a like. Go ahead and leave a comment if you guys like. And just hope you guys are entertained with what I got at the moment. Other than that, deuce.